What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with Nvda, Tesla, SPY, the QQQ, and many tickers out there. I'm going to break down why we're starting to see some buyers defending Nvda, as Nvda is making a move to the upside this morning, and what data came out that's very, very important. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, so something worth mentioning, guys, is that yesterday Nvidia was down like 6 to 7%. It was looking very, very weak as we were at the support. So I made me very apprehensive about it. And I mentioned that the market was dipping. We saw SPY break below 555 and such. However, once the GDP numbers had been coming out this morning, they used that as another excuse to pump things back up. And I just want to remind you all that Nvidia's earnings are not actually bad. Nvidia had a good growth, a beat on EPS and revenue, a $50 billion buyback, and good guidance for Q3. The large majority of stuff that came out yesterday was bullish for Nvidia. So that's the reason why Wall Street is starting to buy this back up. We were down 6 to 7% yesterday. Now this morning we're only down 3%. So we got bought back up by about 3 to 4% today. And it just goes to show that, Wall Street ended up coming back, and there was a lot of manipulation with the way that this ended up playing out. So the question is, what's happening with the markets? Why are we getting bought back up? Why is Nvidia getting bought back up, and why have we not lost key supports? It has to do with manipulation and the fact that Wall Street are trying to buy it back up a bit for now. And also, today is Thursday, August 29th, 2024. The GDP numbers came out. They were better than expected. We got 3% for the GDP growth rate. GDP corporate profits were also above expectations. The price data was not bad. Initial jobless claims was once again below expectations, showing some strength in the labor markets. Everything else was quite decent. So we had some good data. That's why the market's trying to push. Just notes that at 11:30 a.m. today, we have some bill auctions. And besides that, we just have a couple of Fed speakers, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is quite minor. And then on top of this, I just want to mention that as far as the Fed goes, there's a 67.5% chance we get a 25 basis point cut, and a 33% chance we get a 50 basis point cut. And then right now, the Fed is quite neutral. They're kind of in the middle so far. So we're just going to give this a little bit of time just to see how things kind of develop. The markets was neutral, not the Fed. Sorry about that. Anyways, going back, so we're going to start off with Nvidia. This is the main catalyst. If Nvidia dumps today, right, the market would have most likely followed that trend, but instead Nvidia is pushing. They're pushing it back up. It's getting bought back up. It was bought up like 3 to 4%, which is a pretty big move. And with all the data coming out, they decided to pump things, and that's very different from what I was expecting yesterday. But it is what it is, guys. We have to be very, very unbiased, I guess. We have to be very eclectic, and I'm going to try my best to be very unbiased, at least from this point on, because the market's very tricky. So for Nvidia, if we do continue this push, we're going to be looking for 122.8 as our resistance. If we break that, we're going back up towards 124.6. Our support to watch for is going to be at 120. If we lose this, we're going back down to 117.69. Nvidia is looking like it's trying to rebound. Even though it is in the red, it is trying to rebound to resistance. So that's what's helping the markets. The same thing can be said about SPY. SPY is back at 560. We'll be watching to see if we could hold this. But remember, the question now remains, can we hold this structure? Because remember, SPY had that range we were talking about between 555 and 563, or very close to the all-time highs. Every time we hit the 563 area, we reject, and every time we hit 555, SPY got bought back up. What happened yesterday was we dipped below 555, which made me concerned, but we didn't hold below it. So we got bought back up. So now we're going to be looking at the 560 area. If we hold around here, we'll look for 562 to 563. If we reject, we're going to be looking for 558 as support. SPY is looking like it's trying to rebound right here thanks to the GDP numbers and also because of manipulation. So far, we're looking decent, but the question is, can we hold? We're still stuck within this range. It looks like it may attempt to go higher, so I'll be watching to see. If we dip, look for 558 as support, and 562 is going to be our main resistance. We'll see if we hold up. It does look like it might try to push a little higher, so I'll be watching for that very, very carefully. For others out there, we have ES. ES is also trying to rebound. We're going to be looking at basically 5640's resistance followed by 5650. Our main support's at 5622. If we lose that, we're dipping back down to 5600. We're in this range going back and forth, but so far we're doing a good job. As long as we're above 5622, we could see ES attempt to push higher. It depends on if it could hold. So watch that support very carefully, and that could help us continue this pump. Now, Tesla, I called out yesterday, we had this falling wedge like structure, but I was concerned that this was not going to play out because of Nvidia, because Tesla dumped all the way down to 202. I was also concerned Nvidia could dip lower, but instead we're actually breaking out. So it's starting to look like it's going to try to play out. So we're going to be looking at this 209 to 210 areas of resistance. If we get back above the 210s or 20 EMA, look for 212. And if that breaks, we're going up to 215 plus. If you reject, you're going to be looking for 208 as support, followed by 205. In my opinion, the 4-hour is turning, and Tesla looks like it wants to go up to 210 plus and eventually 212. So we are favoring the upside just for now. But the question is, can we hold? I'll be watching for that on Tesla. For NQ, we're basically looking at 19,500. If that breaks, we're going up to about 19,600. Then the next resistance above. And if we lose 19,423, we could be dipping back down to about 19,300. So far, this looks like it wants to push a little higher, but watch to see if it can break past 19,500 or not. That is going to be a tough resistance. For the QQQ, we're going to be looking at basically 474 as resistance. If this breaks, our next target is to be around 476. If we end up losing 472, we're going to be dipping, but this looks like it's going to rebound towards 474. And we also look more bullish when it comes to our MACD. So the QQQ looks like it's trying to rebound. This is decent so far. Nvidia trying to push this morning alongside the markets is what's really helping this. Aapl looks pretty decent. We're back at 230. We're holding above this resistance. So great move by Aapl. And it looks more bullish. I think we might continue. If we hold above 230, our next target is going to be 233. If we lose 230, we're going to be dipping back down to 228. But overall, Aapl looks more bullish. The IWM looks more bullish. So we had this trend line I was talking about yesterday. I was worried we might lose this. If we had lost this, we'd be dipping to about 215. But now we're getting bought back up. So as long as we hold above this trend line, I see us going back up to 220 as long as we hold above the trend line, though. So we'll see if it holds. For now, it does favor that. AMD is trying to rebound with Nvidia. We're going to be looking at 148 as one of our resistance levels. There's 146 and 148, support at 144, so we'll see how it goes. Coinbase is looking more bullish. We have 197.5 as our potential targets, alongside 195 as resistance. So 195 and 197.5 are levels to watch, with support at 192 and 188. So we look a little bit more bullish, and we'll see how things go. Amazon's trying to rebound. If we had lost 169, we'd be looking for 166. But now we're trying to rebound to about 173 to 174. So I think we're going to push a little bit higher towards that range, and we'll see if we reject or not. For Meta has 521 as resistance. We'll see if we reject or not off of this. We're going to likely try to push. If we break 521, we're looking for 524 and 530 again. If we don't break 521, we're going to be dipping back down. So far, we're doing a good job. Microsoft is trying to rebound. We're looking at 414 as resistance and 415. That's going to be our 50 EMA. If we break this, we're going back up to about 418. If you reject off 413, we could be dipping back down to about 410. But overall, we could try to push. And then for Google's trying to rebound. We're going to be looking at 166 as resistance. If this breaks, we're going up to about 168. And if we lose this, we're going to be dipping back down to 165. This is favoring a move to the upside. We're going to be looking to see if we can break above 166.4, our 50 EMA to start pushing. So far, okay, it looks like the market is trying to push higher. We're seeing buyers stepping in. And once again, there's a lot of manipulation after what happened with Nvidia's earnings. But so far, the buyers look like they have the edge, and we're trying to get back up to our levels. So notice Nvidia is now down in the 2% range. So it's continuing to get bought back up as I speak. The buyers are still defending it. SPY is still in this range, so we'll see how well we hold up. But so far, at the time I'm speaking, and the time I'm recording this, the market's looking like it's trying to get a nice rebound. All right, so with that being said, the GDP numbers were decent. We'll see what happens with the data, with the bill auctions coming out at 11:30 a.m. And we're going to be very, very patient nonetheless, just to see how things go. I thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day. Sometimes the market could be very ironic, do things even differently from what I could sometimes expect. But the best thing to do is just always be open-minded, be eclectic, be able to adjust, and stay positive nonetheless, guys. So I thank you for listening. The market's back to bullish for now, and we'll see how things progress from here. Have a great day, and peace out.